Welcome back. We're going to explore another possible trigger for the strategy that we're looking at. We recently discussed the 5 and the 10 moving average and how we can use that as a trigger against the MACD and stochastics. Let's have a look at what this ma50 line is telling us. Now, we added the ma50 as another way to tell which direction the market is going in. In upcoming videos, we'll look at how to read the chart using highs and lows as a possible method. We find that when the market value goes below the ma50, then we're looking for sell positions. When it crosses above the ma50, then we're looking for buy positions. So we really are just saying that because this ma50 is such a large period of time, whenever the market crosses it, it's changing direction. And you'd be surprised at how often this thing is right all on its own. You do get these difficult times here where it's kind of bouncing around on the line. And this is when you might make the decision that it's just not good enough. It's too far away. And then you get the much clearer times where you can see how it's broken through quite nicely, and we're looking at buy positions. When it comes below the ma50, now we're sticking to sell positions all the way down. And then it starts dancing around the line again. You'll find that whenever the ma50 starts going flat and stays flat for a while, there is something odd going on in the market. It could be several bank holidays or something like that. And these are the times that we want to avoid trading. Whenever we see the market starting to lose momentum. Because, as I've said several times, you can make money when the markets are moving up or when they're moving down, but you cannot make money when they're moving sideways. Here we can see that it has broken through quite comfortably below the ma50, so sell positions become quite clear. So you can't stick to an exact rule to say, well, even if it's only 1 pip away from the ma50, that's good enough. You need to be able to look and see, has there been a decent cut through the ma50? If it's dancing around, if it's very close to this sort of ma50 line, then the market is undecided. It's going to be a ranging market. It's not good. You see it breaks through. Even at this point here, you would not be sure because, well, we've seen it move away that much before and it hasn't done a lot. But certainly by this point, we can see it's moving away quite nicely. The 5 and the 10 are still angled away from it, so we're definitely looking for sell positions at this point. And hopefully we would have grabbed this sell. Let's have a look here. So below, we had a crossover. It hit that stochastic just, so this would be quite iffy. If you did enter a trade with these sort of with this sort of stochastic, then you'd probably enter for a tiny minute amount because it is a bit risky. But now let's have another look at the ma50. We've been dealing with a crossover system with the 5 and the 10. If you want to start looking at big trends, you could look at a crossover system using the 10 and the 50. Please note that you would hold these trades for much longer. This is not for typical scalping. But as an example, if you see that the 10 moving average crosses the 50, then this would be a time to consider a buy. So the buy level would be somewhere during this candle, and you would only close it when it recrosses through the ma50 again. So in this case, we would have held the trade for 57, as you can see by the first number there. And we're on the 1 hour chart, so that's 57 hours. And you would have netted 704 points, or 70 pips. It does help pick up bigger movements. The big negative with this is that in order for it to recross and look at closing the trade, you will always lose a considerable amount of profit every time. So we usually try to find ways to get out a bit early. We will be discussing that in upcoming videos. But keep in mind that when we see the blue cross the black, we could have a possible trade. And then the same rules would apply. You want to confirm with stochastic whether or not it's moving in the right direction. And you want to have a look at the chart and see, well, is it in the general trend? You know, am I being silly? Am I trading against the trend itself? So that's two ways that the ma50 can be useful. Keep in mind we've looked at the 5 and the 10 as a possible trigger. We then use that 5 and 10 trigger and confirm it with the MACD as well as stochastics. And now we're considering the 10 and the 50 as another possible crossover, but then we would hold the trades for a much longer period of time. We would still use stochastics as a confirmation, and there are different ways to manage this. We will cover stop losses and take profits coming up. First, we're looking at the various different triggers.